Being a teaching assistant can be a rewarding personal and professional experience. This role will provide valuable experience if you seek faculty appointments and will help you learn skills applicable to a range of careers that require the supervision and training of others. You may also find that working closely with a professor opens up additional opportunities during your time as a graduate student. Finally, being a teaching assistant is an excellent way to increase knowledge and proficiency in your field of study. The university wants you to have a successful teaching assistant experience. You are both a university student and an employee, and as a TA, you will have additional professional standards. Part of being successful is understanding those professional expectations. The objectives of this training are to discuss university policies prohibiting sexual misconduct and sexual discrimination, your role as a responsible employee, and tips for establishing boundaries with students. Title IX is a federal law prohibiting discrimination on the basis of sex in any educational program or activity that receives federal financial assistance. Sex discrimination is treating an individual or group of people unfairly because of their sex, sexual orientation, or gender identity. What does sex discrimination look like in the classroom? It may be stereotyping, steering, hostility, denial of access to instructor or resources, or denial of pregnancy accommodation. You have an obligation to comply with Title IX not only as a student but also as an employee of the university. As a TA, you have a responsibility to take immediate and appropriate action to end and to prevent future occurrences of sex discrimination in the classroom when you witness or have been informed of its occurrence. One of the most effective ways to end discrimination is to speak directly with the individuals who are engaging in the behaviors and tell them to stop. Here are some tips for talking with students about their behavior. State the behavior you saw or was brought to your attention. State how the behavior is problematic. Remind the student that discriminatory behavior is against university policy. Tell the student to stop this behavior. If you have not witnessed the behavior and cannot confirm whether the behavior occurred, you can still tell the student not to engage in this behavior moving forward. Talk about the consequences of engaging in discrimination. Remind the student that retaliation is prohibited. They are not to participate in behavior to punish the person who came forward with a concern. Discourage them from talking with the student who came forward about the concern, as it may be considered intimidation. You can also inform your instructor of classroom issues. Sexual misconduct is another form of sex discrimination. Sexual misconduct is a broad term for any behavior that is sexual in nature and unwanted or unwelcome. Sexual misconduct also includes intimate violence, such as domestic violence and dating violence, non-consensual contact, and non-consensual penetration. The university is committed to ensuring its employees and students are able to work and achieve their academic goals free from discrimination. Therefore, whether something occurs on or off campus, if the behavior negatively impacts or affects a person's workplace or education, OEO may look into allegations of sexual misconduct. You may become aware of sexual misconduct that students are currently experiencing or have experienced in the past. You may learn about these experiences during classroom discussions, writing assignments, or students may come to you directly with this information. TAs are considered responsible employees. This means that if you become aware of sexual misconduct, you must report this information to the Office of Equal Opportunity, or OEO. You are not allowed to keep this information confidential. OEO recommends informing students of your status as a responsible employee before they disclose potential sexual misconduct. We suggest you include this information on the syllabus. This is not meant to discourage students from coming forward, but rather provide them with an opportunity to seek confidential resources if they do not want to talk with a responsible employee. If students inform you about sexual misconduct, it is also best practice to inform them that you are a responsible employee and you will be reporting. We encourage you to provide information on the outreach that OEO provides to individuals who may have experienced sexual misconduct. OEO will reach out to the student through email to inform them of services the university may be able to provide, including academic adjustments, no contact directives, courtesy escorts, also known as safety escorts, referrals to victim advocacy, counseling services, and other safety or protective measures. Working with the Office of Equal Opportunity is optional. This means the student can choose not to engage with our office if they do not wish. If the student does engage, OEO will work with the student to find a solution to the situation that works best for them. The university has many resources on campus that are confidential and are not required to report sexual misconduct information to OEO. If a student has a concern but does not want to tell you because of your reporting requirement, let them know about the confidential resources available. Please note that if a student tells you about sexual misconduct before you can refer them to a confidential resource, you are still obligated to report to OEO. If you notice concerning changes in the behavior of your student, you may also make a report to the Behavioral Intervention Team, also known as BIT, in the Office of the Dean of Students. BIT's primary function is to support students in distress. You can make a report by emailing BIT with your information or filling out a CARE report. Even though you are still a student of the university, as a teaching assistant, you are also in a position of authority and you must follow the required professional boundaries and relationship policy. No university representative, including any faculty member, course instructor, athletic coach, advisor, mentor, or preceptor, may engage in a sexual or romantic relationship with the current student who is in the same academic unit, department, or single department college or equivalent as the university representative, or for an athletics coach, compliance staff, mentor, advisor, or preceptor of students who is in their area of responsibility. One of the best ways to set yourself up for success is to establish clear boundaries and expectations with your students. Boundaries should be set around socializing with students, office hours, and grading criteria and due dates. You may have friends or acquaintances in your course. If this is the case, it is especially important to establish boundaries. Be clear about grading consistency and do not talk about other students in any way. Sometimes unexpected classroom events will occur. In these situations, we rely on you as TAs to make your best professional judgments in that moment. Things to consider include: how would others judge your actions? How could your actions impact the students, the academic program, and the University of Utah? Can you pause and discuss the situation with your professor? And finally, are you doing the right thing? If an unexpected classroom event includes discrimination in any form, then your responsibilities include taking steps to end the behavior and to report to OEO. Your faculty member and department will be an invaluable resource in helping you be a successful TA. You can also reach out to OEO if you have questions about discrimination, harassment, and sexual misconduct.